What up, Kayla's crew, and welcome to Kayla's Eat and Greet. Today I have a steak and cheese sub, or Philly cheesesteak, however you want to call it. And I also, on the side, got some chicken tenders and fries. I thought it was going to be like, it was listed under appetizers, so, or actually I think it was listed under sides. So, yeah, that's a little big, but I'm actually super excited about it. It looks and smells really good. Got myself a Diet Coke over here, and they gave me one ranch. I ordered two, but that's fine. I kind of want to check out this Philly cheesesteak, though, and see what this looks like. This is from a local place called Captain Nemo's. Or actually, Captain Nemo's. It's actually spelled like C-A-P''N. Captain Nemo's. Oh, they put lettuce and tomato on it. That's weird. I did not ask for that, but okay. Oh, man. Totally ruins the aesthetic. I mean, I'll eat it. Sounds amazing, but yeah, there is a Philly cheesesteak under there. Damn. I'm gonna take all this off. All right, that looks a little bit better. I mean, it doesn't look better, but it looks more like a Philly cheesesteak. So we got the steak inside. My hands are all, got no napkins, but it comes with Swiss cheese. I also added American cheese and squeezed cheese. It also comes with onions and peppers. So I probably will throw the lettuce and tomato back on. Like, I just wanted to get a thumbnail that had, like, I wanted it to look like a Philly cheesesteak, you know what I'm saying? But first, I'm gonna try it without. I'm gonna try it as is. I have eaten at this place before. I usually get their... Sorry, I just wanted to show you that. I usually get their, like, Italian sub, but it's been years since I've been there, actually. That was weak. I fit my mouth around it. Very good. I'll put the lettuce and tomato back on now, because I love lettuce and tomato on a sub. Actually, really glad they did that. Let's try it now. Oh, it's big. Oh, it's so good. Such good flavors on that. Wow. These look pretty dang amazing, guys. They were called the fritters and fries, I believe. Very crispy. Flavor is okay. Pretty good. I'm gonna dip it though. Here. Let's get the dip in the screen. So messy already. Wow. That ranch is good. And look how juicy. Can you guys see that? Oh, it looks... I don't know. Like, from here, it looks juicy to me, but I don't know if you guys can see that on camera, but it is juicy. I got some tenders the other day from another place. And I think this one's also just, like, a local place. It's called Wing Snob. And I just ordered, like, the 3 tenders, and, like, I might have gotten, like, a side or something. I can't remember, but the tenders were, they were, like, double or triple the size of one of these. And they were so freaking good. I can't even describe it. But very, like, heavy. Like, 3 tenders was a little much, which is weird, because this is, like, what, 5 tenders? I'll probably eat all of them. Okay, let's try a fry. Standard fry. Oh. Alright. Not bad fries. Not very salty, but you just dip it in some ranch, you're good. Hell yeah. Alright, let's have more of this. Because I didn't really get anything that had any lettuce or tomato on it, so let's try to get into that. Yeah. Oh, it's good with the tomato. I don't know if you can see any of the cheese, but it's a very good balance of cheese. I'm glad I added extra. I feel like with just the Swiss, I wouldn't even know it was there. Mm-hmm. Really good. Alright. So, it's been a couple weeks. How have you guys been? Excuse me. I've been doing it so. It's been a crazy couple of weeks. Like, I don't know if in my last video I told you, but I had taken Howie to the vet a couple times. Howie's my cat, for you guys who don't know. And we got everything pretty much figured out. He had like an ear infection. He had his ingrown nails. He had a bunch of stuff. But they fixed him all up. And he was finally like off the ear medicine and just on the once every week medicine for the ear, which is going to be long term. So I was like, okay, this is just like, we're cruising now. I don't have to take him back to the vet for a while. And then he gets this huge bump on his back leg, his left back leg. And I'm like, what is that swelling? Like, it was right on his knee, like the knee part. And I'm like, oh my God, did he like fracture? Like, did he pull a muscle? Like, what did he do? No. It was like a crazy big bump, and it felt hard. So I was like, I wonder if he like dislocated a joint, you know, like his knee joint. So I was like, let's get him in. And unfortunately, they tell me it's bone cancer. They did an x-ray. He has bone cancer, and they recommended putting him down, like, immediately. Like, they're like, either you need to put him down today, they said, or we would schedule an amputation. I was not expecting that. I thought he had a little injury that they were going to pop back into place. So I was a mess for like an entire day because the way they talked about it sounded like he was already suffering. And I had to make a decision quick, you know. Howie was actually just yelling at me, so I let him out. Sorry about that. But yeah, so yeah, it was rough. So I actually was leaning towards, you know, I think I was leaning towards putting him down. Because I don't know if you guys know, but the whole story with my last cat, Trooper, he was an older cat. Like, I think he was 16 when I got him, probably 17 or 18 when he passed, but he had skin cancer that I found out about, and I wasn't too shocked about that because he had all these like open wounds on his skin, you know. Sorry if you guys are eating, it's probably pretty gross, but I decided to give him the surgery. In hindsight, I personally believe it was the wrong choice because first of all, the surgery didn't do anything. Like, the lady did the surgery and was like, I did it, but there's so many other tumors on his body. I mean, I wasn't able to take them all off. And I'm like, okay. Wouldn't you have known that before you did? I don't know. So he was in pain from that and like kind of miserable from that already, and then just declined from there. And it was like, I wish I would have spared him that, you know. So now, the other day, after finding out not Trooper Howie has bone cancer, I was like trying to imagine putting him through an amputation, even though the doctors were like, oh yeah, there's a very little chance that it'll work, or that it hasn't already spread to his lungs and other parts of his bones and stuff. And, you know, so I'm like, am I really gonna make the same mistake, basically? And I just kept telling myself, like, no, like, Howie is a different cat than Trooper. This isn't the same exact circumstance, you know? Like, Howie isn't as old. He's probably, like, they say he's 10, but he's probably, like, at least 12, you know? Excuse me, but I don't think he's as old as Trooper was. Yeah, and I don't know, I was going literally just back and forth all night, just miserable. Like, I couldn't even picture it either way. I couldn't picture being without Howie, but I couldn't picture watching him go through the amputation. And I was like, I don't know what to do. I literally don't. I have no idea. To the point where I was literally Googling how to make a decision, like just in general, not even about cats. I was like, how to make a decision. Like, this is adult shit. This is like stuff I should already know how to do. But just was not right. Like, did not expect any of this, you know, with Howie right now. But Howie, the little cutie that he is, I was in my room, like, going back and forth all night. And then I looked down at him, and he, there's this, like, binder clip on the floor, like, because I work from home, so there's, like, a bunch of paper clips and stuff. But there was a binder clip that had fallen to the ground. And Howie's, like, looking at it, and just goes, and starts playing with it. And I'm like, that is not a cat that is ready to die. Like, I feel like, I was just like, that's a sign. He has a lot of life left in him. And it just, that moment, I was like, okay, I think I need to do the surgery, because that, like, I feel like it would, even if the cancer has spread already, which they say is a good chance, the surgery at least is going to take away the pain in his leg, so he can have a better quality of life for however long that might be, until maybe the other cancer gets to him, you know what I mean? So I feel like no matter what, like, he has life left in him, and who's to say he doesn't want to live, you know? It seems like he wants to live. Like, Trooper, like, looking back with Trooper was pretty miserable. Like, and I was doing the surgery to try to help him not be miserable. It's just, it didn't work out. Howie isn't miserable. He's limping, you know, when he tries to walk, but also my brother said that he saw Howie and Dahlia. Dahlia is our other cat, one of our other cats. He saw them chasing each other around the other day, just for a little bit. But Howie was running on a bum leg. So I'm like, yeah. So happy. Like, just after I made the final decision, I, like, felt so much better. It's good. Yeah. It was just like a sign to me, and I was just like, okay, we're gonna help you out, Howie. We're gonna get that leg off. Which, you know, it's still gonna be very hard for me to watch him go through that. Like, it's not gonna be easy. Well, they say that cats recover very well, and usually pretty quickly, from hind leg amputations, which is a good thing, you know. He's not super young, but also I don't think he's super old, so I think he should be able to get through the pain of the surgery pretty quickly, and then maybe get used to the only having one back leg pretty well. But it's like, it's still gonna be hard for me to see him being confused, like, where's my leg? You know what I mean? Like, he has no idea what's going on. It's not something I can talk to him about. That's what I hate about doing medical things for cats. That's the hardest thing about having a cat. Totally worth it. Everything else to me is so rewarding. And, I mean, hopefully this is rewarding too. Hopefully doing this for Howie will give him, like I said, any amount of time that, you know, without pain, more comfort. Even if it's another 6 months, you know, worth it. I think. I hope. Yeah. So that's what's been going on. I might have mentioned in my last video that I was going to be going to Pennsylvania this weekend to see some of my mom's side of the family. We do a family reunion, like, every year, or they do. I went one year, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, but I did not go last year. But I'm not going to be able to go this year either, because that's this weekend, and Howie's surgery is tomorrow, so I'm going to need to be here this weekend to watch him, take care of him, help him recover, make sure he's comfy, you know, get him anything he needs. I don't know if I'll have to have a litter box in my room here, so he doesn't have to go all the way out to the laundry room. Who knows? You know, I want to be here. So I won't be going out of town, but I will have a couple days off still, you know. Just kind of hang out, spend time with Howie. But yeah, I'm nervous. I drop him off tomorrow at 8 a.m. Yeah, and then they have him, and they do the surgery, and sometime on that same day, once he starts waking up, they'll call me and I'll come pick him up. Ooh, it's gonna be tough. But he's a tough cat, though. He's been putting up with this. Like, they gave me a few days of pain medication while I made my decision. They're like, yeah, we just gotta manage his pain, you know, if you gotta think about it, go home and think about it. Because they wanted me to put him down that day. And, or schedule him, you know, for the surgery. And I just was like, I want to talk to my family and see, like, what they think. And, like, I mean, it's their cat, too, you know? Like, even if I was to put him down that day, it's like, I would want them to be able to say goodbye. Like, I don't know. I was like, there's no way I was going to do anything that day. And I'm glad I didn't. But, anyway, what was I saying? Man, this is all really good, guys. Very, very good food. Yeah, no idea what I was about to say, sorry. Lost my train of thought. Usually I will lose my train of thought, you know? And just lost it again. But usually I'll lose my train of thought and then, like, get it back, like, immediately. Because it bothers me like no other if I don't finish a thought. But lately I'm just like, whatever. Can't be that important. I do want to go swimming soon. Oh, because we do have a pool in our apartment complex, which is really nice. And it's been kind of hot out, but oh my gosh, it's so annoying. They're doing this parking lot renovation. I don't know. Our whole entire parking lot at our apartment complex is getting redone. And they're doing it, like, section by section, and they sent us this, like, schedule, which was typed out so poorly. I you know, barely even know what they're talking about. But yeah, I guess come Monday we'll have to park, like, way far away. And then they're just, I don't know. So I don't even know. Right now I don't even think I could get to the pool because they're doing that section right now. So they're, like, digging and, yeah. I don't know. I just can't wait for it to be over. Because even when they're not doing my section, they're doing other people's sections, so other people have to park in my area. So I'm, like, getting home at night. All the parking is taken. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll park on the, just randomly, like, so there's, like, a driveway, like a road, I guess, sort of. And then there's, like, parking lots for each building on the side. So I had to, like, park on the main road part. It's not really, like, a road, but you know what I mean. Like, I hope they don't tow me. But yeah, it's just annoying. Like, what's going on that's positive? I saw a couple of my friends, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. We went to this Italian restaurant. Oh man, what was it called? Villa? Place was so good. I can't remember what I ordered, but I think I ended up getting my siblings' meal, which was, like, veal parmesan, but very similar to what I ordered, so I didn't even notice. So good. It was good to see them. So my friend, the one that I just saw the other day, like, he is going to school right now in Indiana, actually, for his doctorate in Oregon. Actually, it's some sort of music program. I actually don't know what he's getting his doctorate in specifically. If it's like, you know how you can get your doctorate in, like, a certain specialty of, so it's not just music or not just organ. He plays organ. But he also writes music. He also conducts. He also sings. You know what I mean? Could be any one of those things. I should ask him. But yeah, he, like, obviously is back. I believe he's back for the summer now. Yeah, he owns a house in Detroit, and he drives every week to Indiana, and he has an apartment there for his school week. Then he comes back home on the weekends because he also plays at a local church here. Plays organ every week, so been putting a lot of miles on his car, but at least now he's, like, home for the summer, and I can, like, see him more, hopefully. I've known him since college. We did our undergrad together at U of M. So since then, he's gotten his master's, and now he's getting his doctorate. I dropped out of my undergrad. I still have dreams that I'm back in college, that I'm finishing the last few credits. Excuse me. Because I went to 4 years of college. The end of the fourth year, I kind of stopped going to classes and failed a couple so I basically just like dropped out, because at the end of year, like, I was getting my bachelor's in trombone performance because I played trombone, but I didn't want to be a teacher. I wanted to play in an orchestra. So I was like, I'm going to go into performance. And in order to graduate, like, I would have had to do, like, I don't know if it's one or two, maybe it's one per semester, but my senior year of college, I would have had to do 2 recitals. And I think I did one. I know I did one. I actually did it with my friend that I was just telling you about. We did an organ and trombone recital at one of his churches in Detroit. Went okay, you know, I screwed up a couple times, but I was not a practicer, so I kind of just winged it every time, which was stupid. I didn't have the endurance, you know, so my mouth got tired. So good. But I never did that last recital, you know? And I just never, like, contacted my professor about it. Like, I was too scared to face it, you know? So I just kind of disappeared. And that was me dropping out. But in my dreams, I'm always, like, really scared to do that last recital. Like, I'm always, like, preparing to do it, or I have my trombone with me, and I'm like, I don't want to go to this thing. Oh my gosh, I haven't practiced. I don't know the music, or whatever. It's just, like, a stress dream about that. And it's like, dude, it's been it's been more than 10 years, been more than a decade. I would say 13 years since I dropped out of college, 14 even. I don't know. And it's like my subconscious can't get over the fact that I didn't finish. I don't know. Because, like, in my waking life, I don't care that I didn't get a degree. I never was going to use it. Like, my trombone's sitting over there. I keep kind of looking over there. It's sitting there. I haven't actually played it in 2 or 3 years. I have it sitting out for decoration because it's really pretty. And I'm not, like, ashamed of it. I don't care. I have a great job. A great life. I don't want to change any of that. Like, I don't want to now be in an orchestra. That would be a lot of pressure. That would be stressful for me. And that's part of why I didn't want to continue. I was, like, getting closer and closer, like, to the reality of graduating and having to try to find a job as a trombone player. I mean, to be able to make, I mean, a lot of, like, the bigger orchestras, obviously, like, those guys make a lot of money. And they're well off. That's great. But you have to be in one of those bigger orchestras to make a lot of money. Like, I've played in the Livonia Symphony Orchestra, the Plymouth Symphony Orchestra, which are 2, like, smaller little towns in the state. And you get maybe, like, $100 per concert, which includes rehearsals and stuff, too. So, like, it's a nice little, like, side hustle, you know what I mean? But that's not a job. I couldn't live off of that. Like, they only have, what, 1 concert every 4 months? Or, I don't know. Like, no way. But the bigger orchestras, like, you know, even Detroit Symphony Orchestra, or, like, the Chicago Symphony Orchestra, Philharmonic, well, I don't know what they all are. New York Philharmonic, that's what it is. The bigger, big city ones, those guys will make, like, maybe 6 figures a year, or maybe, like, upper 5 figures. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, $70,000, $100,000. I don't even know. I don't know what it is anymore these days, but that's, like, livable. It's like, well, you're doing well, you know. But to get a job in one of those orchestras, those, like, few very big orchestras, you have to wait for one of those trombone players to die, or one of them to move to another symphony orchestra because that person died. And then you have to do auditions and beat every single other trombone player in the world who wants to have that position. That's never going to happen. I mean, people did say that I was really, really good, you know, and I did win some competitions in my time, like, growing up, like, high school era, stuff like that, so I will give myself credit, like, I was really good, but I never practiced. If I had practiced, I could have been one, like, top 10 current. I'm not saying, of all time, but I really could have been about, like, top 10 in the world currently. I could be making CDs. That's the thing. If I had put the work in, I could have made one of those big orchestras. I could have, but I didn't have that in me. I didn't want to work. I rode off my talent. That's how I got into U of M. Never practiced in high school. Never practiced in college. They could tell. It wasn't because I was doing terribly. They were just like, oh, I can tell you're not comfortable with that. How many times did you practice this week? And I would just say 0. And we're like, okay, well, you're very talented for being able to do that well, but, I mean, you can't go the whole way without practice. You just can't. No matter how good you are. I don't think. So, I was never going to do that, so, no. Moral of the story, I'm not mad that I dropped out. It's who I am as a person. I'm never going to be that person that's going to put, like, I don't know, like, that's going to be in a bigger orchestra and put all my work and effort into that. Like, my job, I put effort in my job, but it's only during those hours. Like, when you're in an orchestra, you have your rehearsal time, which is a lot, and then you also, when you get home, you practice your part. You know what I mean? Like, you practice. There's people who practice, like, 4 or 5 hours a day in addition to their full-time job. You know what I mean? 4 or 5, like, I would maybe, like, the day before a lesson, practice for, like, 20 minutes. And be like, run a couple scales and be like, okay, got that. 4 or 5 hours? I don't got time for that. I do, but I want to spend my time doing other things, you know? Not to say that I don't enjoy playing trombone. I very much enjoy playing trombone, but I don't enjoy practicing. Practicing, you're running, like, little parts over and over and over, trying to get them perfect. I have issues with perfection already. I don't need perfection to be my job. I don't need to be sitting up there as the principal trombonist of the New York Philharmonic, about to have a solo, and in my head I know, if I screw up, I might be fired. I can't live like that, yo. Like, and maybe that's not how it is. I don't know. I've never been in a big professional orchestra. You know, I've just been in, like, local ones. Those ones, there's really no pressure. And I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying it's just more chill, you know? But if I can ever play my trombone with my friend who plays organ, I'll do that. I have fun doing that. But I will not practice, apparently. And I'm okay with that. But yeah, the dreams still come. I have recurring dreams, like, of that. Going back to college, having to finish the last few credits, being stressed about that, not making it to my classroom on time, and whatever, you know, not knowing my schedule. But I also have recurring dreams about having to go to church as a kid, but I'm an adult now. Like, my dad used to be a pastor, a Lutheran pastor of this, like, tiny, tiny church. We didn't even have a church building. We would go to Midland, Michigan, which was like a 2.5-hour drive away, every other week on Sunday. I'd have to leave at like 5 a.m. We'd drive up there, and we would go to this, like, little hotel conference room where he would set up, like, an altar, and we would bring all the stuff, and my mom would be the organist, but it would just be like a keyboard, and we would have, like, chairs we would set up, or probably the motel would set them up, but that was our little church, and my dad was the pastor, and yeah, that was stressful for me too, because I had to wear, like, dresses and tights, like, you know, I don't know, I guess they still have tights, like leggings or whatever, but these were, like, tights where you had to pull them up, and they were so tight, and they would, like, fall down, and they would rip. It would just be so uncomfortable. Oh my gosh. And waking up super early in the morning and then trying to sleep in the car, but my dad would always have the window down because he would have to smoke his cigars. And I was freezing, and I didn't have a blanket, and then we would have to, my dad would tell a sermon. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Lutheranism, but it's not called a homily, it's called a sermon. And we would have to, like, take notes and write an essay about the sermon at the end to make sure we were paying attention. And it's like, these are all stressful things. So I, like, about every week or two, I have recurring dream about that, like, still going to church. And then in the dream, I realize I'm an adult, and I'm like, hey, Mom and Dad. I mean, my dad's there, but I'm usually talking to my mom because I don't like my dad. But I'm like, hey, Mom, after this week, I'm not going to come to church anymore. That's always in the dream. Always in the dream. And she's like, okay, but like you have to run the service this time. Like there's always a reason I have to be there. But I'm always like, okay, next time I will not go. Like next Sunday, I'm just gonna do my own thing. I don't have to go. I'm an adult. So weird because we haven't done that since I was like 12. I mean, like, why is that still in my brain? Every couple weeks, and every couple weeks I'm back in college. Actually, probably more often than that. Probably twice a week I'm back in college. Oh my goodness, the mind is a crazy place. But yeah. All right, I'm full. I'm kind of just picking at this point. But this was really yummy. I did like it a lot with the tomato and lettuce. Because, you know, a steak and cheese is very heavy and very greasy. And I feel like the lettuce and tomato kind of counteracted that. It was more like fresh, you know, the fresh vegetable feel with the greasy and cheese saucy. It was very good. Yeah, the fries are like fine. Like I like the texture of them. There's just no salt on them. These were really good. Oh, I have a couple extra, so maybe I'll heat these up in the oven later. Not microwave because they'll get all soggy. I feel bad about not finishing this, but I'm really full. Like I shouldn't. But yeah, thanks guys for listening to my rambles today. I hope Howie is okay. I will definitely keep you guys updated. Since you listened to all this, I will let you know what happens and how he recovers and stuff. So yeah, I'll let you guys know what happens. And yeah, otherwise, have a great rest of your week, everyone. And we'll see you next time. Peace out.